Hello, hello. Can you believe I'm about to say welcome to November 1st? Can you believe it's already November 1st? Wait a minute. Where where did October go? Okay, I want the time to slow down. Anyone else? Does anybody else really, really adore the fall and then, moving slowly into winter season? I mean, oh my gosh, I feel like it's moving way too fast, but we are here. And so it is time to make a few announcements. I think we'll just go real quick in no specific order. We have How Do You Do Art this month? And the challenge for How Do You Do Art is Natural November. And a bonus quest would be using neutrals. So, how would you do art with the word natural and then the word neutral? For instance, let me know in the comments, what is your thought of what colors would be considered neutral? Go ahead, let me know in the comments. I'll wait a minute. I'll tell you, for me, most days, I feel like black, white, gray, a real light cream, browns, those would be neutrals. But there are days where, if you look at this, for instance, okay, I would say this is neutrals. The green that is there is a very, very pale, kind of like an olive green. The writing is in brown, and this is kind of a cream and peach gel plate print behind that. And this here is actually rust-dyed fabric. It was white cotton. So for me, I guess it kind of depends on the day. Yeah. But so that will be How Do You Do Art? And I do happen to have this gigantic piece of what used to be an old tablecloth. It is not, 100 years old or older. It might be about 50 years old. And I actually tea-dyed it. So my thought is we'll use this maybe somewhere in this How Do You Do Art. It is 100% natural cotton. Anyway, and a neutral color. So there's the How Do You Do Art. And then we have just the bits. Let's be real. I am overwhelmed with scraps. Even though we spent a whole month using up bits. Anybody else? Do you save all your scraps? I actually went through a ton of scraps and got rid of them. I mailed a bunch to people that people wanted some scraps off my desk. I actually am taking my coolest scraps and I'm going to make scrap packs. I'm going to put them in my little Ko-fi shop in case anybody else would like some scrap packs. They should be there by now, hopefully. If for some reason they've sold out, because for some reason they sell out fast, go ahead and email me. In the description box, I'll leave my shop link and my email. Okay, so throughout the month, we will be using scraps, and you have more ideas for just the bits. So there's that. That will for sure come into play. And then, oh, look at these, more neutrals. Junk journaling for beginners, back to the basics. I need to remind myself sometimes to go back to the fun, simple basics and be teaching the basics as well, how I do things, like using up simple book pages. So in today's video, hold on, push pause on that. We'll do some of this throughout the month, but I'm going to attempt to do some more of the Deck the Year 2025 with Penny's Crafty Creations as well. Don't know how much I'll get done on that. I'm quite a ways behind. That's okay. Not a big deal. I also have a ton of other things planned, guys. I've got experiments I want to try, and I figured I'd bring you along with me. I have prep work that has got to be done for my first weekend in December. I have a indoor Christmas bazaar I do, and I actually have a very large space. So I need to do prep work for that. Some of it I'm going to do on camera because I figured you might like to know how to make the things that I'm making because they're fairly quick, inexpensive, simple, and you can make them as stocking stuffers or gifts for neighbors or friends. Maybe you have little kids and you want to give them as gifts to teachers. So I'll bring you along for that as well. My thought for today, since I'm looking at all this neutral stuff, maybe we could do something that is a combination of how do you do art, natural November neutrals, all of it, and something back to the basics. What do you think? I mean, I was just going to announce everything, and that would leave it at a 5-minute video. I need a little soda real quick. I have a bubbly every once in a while. Okay. Well, let me show you what I thought, okay? I'm going to move these things aside so that they're not in my way, and move that aside. So I was going through, I took 20 minutes, and I went through all of my Christmas stuff. Obviously, I don't have much. And then I went through other things, and I was just gathering some neutral things, okay? Just neutral colors. And I came across these. And I thought, oh, you know what would be fun is if we created with these just a little simple neutral Christmas journal, more of a snowman journal, because let's be real, a lot of people don't want to deal with Christmas in November. But, you know, when you're like me and you have an event planned, you have no choice but to get ready for it. But, I mean, snow can be in November, October, sometimes October, depending on where you live, November, December, January, February, March. I mean, it really depends on where you live. So maybe we could just go ahead and use some of, now that is not a neutral right here, but we could alter it. And this has, well, it's kind of neutral. I don't know. He's got a little bit of red berries there. But again, we could make it neutral. So, I don't know. My thought was to do something with this, but, so I collected that. And then just so you can see how I kind of prep to do a small journal, one signature, I grabbed a little lunch sack. I thought maybe I can use that. I grabbed 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets of, well, 2 are coffee dyed and 2 are tea dyed papers, just printer paper. And instead of folding it, you know, this way, I folded it long way because I think it would be kind of cool. Like, I need to zoom out. Dawn. It might be kind of cool like that. I may need to trim it, but I'm not going to do that yet. Now, oh, I will tell you, I did use ground espresso, and I went around all the edges of these little printout things, which, by the way, I don't know where I got them. So, I don't know. You could check the Digital Collage Club online. It might now be called Makers and Creators, or I'll have to look. If I find it, I'll put it down in the links below. But we just have some printer paper, and let me gather this up real quick. And then, I don't know if you remember, we did a little bit of white acrylic paint on packing paper, and then we did gesso, a thick, heavy-duty gesso. So it's got texture. I thought, well, maybe those can go in there. I don't know. And I grabbed some rag paper, book pages. Then I went ahead and I grabbed some scrap stuff. I just have, well, these little tiny guys here, maybe collaging or something. But we can cover these. Another little fun, this was on a package of some sort. I thought we could cover that and use it maybe somehow. I grabbed an envelope. Maybe we can use that. I found a little card. How cute is that? And, you know, just some random supplies that are basically neutral. That's a little thing from Darcy over at Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media. She sent me last year or the year before to play with. So yeah, I just grabbed neutral, like book page. There is a card, a Christmas card, a couple of Tim Holtz papers. There is some Christmas sheet music here. So that's what I grabbed in case you're wondering where do I even start? And then I do have a little bowl of some neutral things as well as gold. I thought my gold is kind of a neutral in this case. And yeah, some coffee dyed tags. Just some little bits here. Aha, just the bits, see? And I grabbed a friend, Trish, sent me, Trish over at Crafting Whimsy. Yeah, she sent me these little tiny coffee filters. Well, who knows? And then this is, well, there's that. That's not a scrap. Somebody sent that to me. Isn't that amazing? But these are scraps, all neutral scraps. I thought we could maybe use. I don't know. So I've got a pile of stuff to the side of me, as well as this little bag with some little scraps of, well, they're flying away, neutral laces, some gold ribbons. Yeah, I don't know. I just grabbed a few things. I thought we could use it. So I had said something about junk journal for beginners, back to the basics, and I said book pages. Now, why don't we do something that's back to the basics with book pages? Because all journals, no matter what the size or what they are, they need a pocket so you can put something in it. So let's grab some book pages, and let's first make a really quick and simple book page pocket. Doesn't matter what size book page. I think I'd like one that's not in English. That way I do not have to pay attention to whether or not I need to read the words. There's a good one. Yeah, let's go ahead. And I'm afraid if I just rip it by hand, it won't rip straight. So I'm just using a metal ruler. I think I got that off Amazon. And maybe you're wondering, well, Dawn, I don't have that size paper. Okay, well, watch this. Let's grab something bigger. See? Let's see. Oh, it's connected. Again, let's go ahead and just rip it off. There we go. I want to make sure I get the extras put back. Stay as organized as I can oh my gosh. It doesn't want to go back. I want to stay as organized as possible for as long as possible, but that ain't going back, so forget it. All right. Now, we do know that nothing in this journal can be wider than this, okay? It's going to be my widest page. So always keep that in mind when you are making a book page pocket, okay? How wide is your page going to be, your widest page? And don't go any bigger than that. That'll guarantee it'll fit. So let's keep that right next to us. So I've got 2 different size pages here. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to take this one, and I think I'll turn it this way. Wait, let's see. Which side is cooler? Okay, just pick which side you want to be the side you're going to see. I don't care. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold this in. There we go. And I'm going to fold this side over so that it just barely goes onto this page that we just folded over. And I'm going to try and make a straight line. There we go. Now, I do need my glue. Where's my glue? Okay, this is just art glitter glue. Looks like this. You could use any glue. I'm using this because it dries fast, and I'm making a video. I've just put it in a little bottle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a bead of glue right down this edge. And then I'm going to press this down, just like that. Now, I want that to be the top of my pocket. So I do need to glue down in here so nothing falls out. So again, I'm just going to run, come on, a small bead of glue down on the inside of this. Okay, and then we're just going to squish squash. Squish squash. We want to give that a minute to dry. Okay, and look, it will fit on our page. And then we're going to take this one. And, oh, I really like the coloration on this page. Oh, that side's even better. And I kind of want it to be upright. So could we fold it to be a tall, skinny pocket? I just want it to be upright. Oh, Dawn. If you do it like this first, okay, there we go. And now, obviously, it's too wide, right? I am, however, these are very thin pages, okay? I think we probably should reinforce this. So this is where we're going to grab some scrap paper. What do I have over here? Oh my goodness, my back is killing me, guys. Okay, just some random cream of chicken and cheese. Potato and corn chowder. Avocado soup. Yeah, I don't care. What we're going to do is grab our glue stick and get glue all over our page, just to reinforce this really thin book page. Now, this would be a really good idea to do for any book page that's thin, rag paper or not, especially if you want to use that really cool old book page stuff you've got, you know, that caramelized brittle stuff. All you have to do, reinforce with a thicker book page, scrap paper, whatever you've got, like so. Dun, 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 dun. We're just going to make sure there's no air bubbles and make sure it sticks real good. There we go. Now, I do know it didn't, it didn't cover. And that's okay. Not a big deal. And I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and just trim that. Actually, instead of trimming it, you know what we could do? We could reinforce it some more. Why don't we fold it over wherever it's supposed to go here. And then we'll just fold it down with glue on it, and it makes a reinforced top for when people are putting things in and out of the pocket. Because yes, this journal, when I'm done with it, it will be up for sale at my Christmas event. I will offer it to you guys first when it's done. I will put it in my Ko-fi site. So now we will trim these edges off from that other book page, so we can't even tell it's there, right? There we go. Oh, sticky mess. Sticky mess. Okay. We could trim off this side, but I'm not going to. What I thought we would do, go ahead and fold that up right about where I want it. Make sure the sides are even. Give it a good crease. And then I think, since it's too wide, maybe, I'm thinking, give me a second here. Maybe on this one, we'll go ahead and hold it up against this page. And I'm going to fold in over here first. Like that, and give it a good crease. And then I can move it over, making sure I still have room on the side there. And I can fold this side over. Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll be good to go. There we are. And give it a good crease. Now, just like the other one, we're going to glue it together here. But I want to look on this side because I was originally going to fold it like that. I think I've changed my mind. I think here's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and, you know, let's trim off this wonky edge after all. There we go. Make sure this is still going to fold over enough. Is it? No, we need to move over just a little since I trimmed off that. I trimmed it off because it was kind of chunky. Now, that should work. Yes. Oh, but how did I get it folded crooked? I lined up the bottom, didn't I? I did. So it must just be that this page is on the paper crooked. I don't know. It was probably all me. Whatever. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to give some glue on this edge here. Okay, and then we're going to fold it over like we did the other one. And press it down. We want to make sure it gets a good stick. And then we can decide. I'm going to move this over because we now know it'll fit. Now we can actually decide how tall we want it to be. So let's say that this page is going to be in the journal like this. And actually, maybe we might trim off a little bit so it's not quite as tall. There we go. So what I want to do is I actually want to see, where do I want this pocket? So I think I'm going to go ahead and tear off this bottom. There we go. And then we want to glue that little inside piece there. And then press again, just make sure everything is sticking. Now, if this isn't sticking real well and you totally didn't get it, it's okay. We're going to glue this whole thing down to a page, okay? And do you see, I've got a really tall pocket. That means that a tall and skinny tag can go in there. But I do think that I want to get these chewed up edges off. There we go. It's still glued shut. Okay. And then what we have now is 2 book page pockets ready to go in the journal. Now for me, like, I know that I'm going to be inking in this journal. So I will come along and ink the edges, so that's done and ready, because they do, pardon me, drinking the soda gives me the burps. We do know that, you know, we're going to need to decorate these, but I didn't figure you'd want me to do that on camera. You'll have to let me know. If you want me to do some decorating of these plain things, just to get an idea of what I do, I will gladly do that. But I have other things to show you as well. So I thought I'll give you the choice. All right, so we have 2 pockets out of book page. And, I mean, it's fairly simple. I think I made it harder than it has to be, really. Then, what I thought I could do is let's grab these 2 things here. And I think, since we have just a few minutes left, what I'd like to do I'm going to use this, what do you call this? Parchment paper as kind of my glue book page, just so I don't get glue on my surface. I'd like to take these 2 Bath & Body Works tags, and I'd like to turn them into something fun to go into this journal, whether it be end up being a dangle, I don't know. So let's bust into some of these scraps. What do we have? You know what? How about we do like this? Let's just take one of these. Let's totally get glue all over it. And let's just glue it down to this music sheet. And we'll give it a few minutes or no. Should we just cut it? I mean, yeah. I would say when you use a glue stick to glue something down, give it a few minutes to dry and then do this cutting. It sticks better. But if you're like me and you don't want to wait, then don't. It's totally up to you. You get to decide. All right. So we've got that. I do know I'll go like this. But then I think maybe this weird ledger-ish type page, I think I'll take a scrap of that. And yeah, let's glue that down. And then maybe we'll take a little piece of, yeah, let's get that. This is a piece of Amazon packaging. Cool. Let's go ahead and glue that down. Right about there. And then let's find some little something. Oh, that's right. I had those little tiny snowmen. Let's get... That guy's kind of cute. Let's get him. And then there is a piece of burlap here. No, I'm not going to use that this time. We could glue him down. I actually want him to be skinnier. Zoop. Zoop. There we go. Which means I need to ink him a little bit. What do we got? Something stuck there. Okay. I got stuff stuck everywhere. All right, let's go ahead and give him some glue. And we'll put him right there. Sticky. Cute. So simple and so cute. And then... Oh, it does say Bath & Body Works. We do need to cover this backside. This could be written on. So why don't we do that? I'm putting this stick glue away for a minute. Oh my gosh, my fingers are so sticky. Let's get out the art glitter glue. And... Hello? Oh, there we go. We'll give it some glitter glue. There's no glitter in this glue, which is so weird. I don't know why they call it glitter glue, but they do. There we go. And I'm going to press it down with... Oh, make sure it didn't move. I'm going to press it down with this, just because we know it's dawn. Glue's going to ooze out. There we go. Sure enough, it did. Put the lid back on your glue, Dawn. Okay. And then, what shall we do? We shall cut this. And look at this. We could call it this just the bits as well, because we're using up some neutral scraps. Oh my gosh. We have junk journaling for beginners. We have just the bits. And guess what? We are working on a neutral journal. And let's face it, we could say it is for how do you do art? Why? Because to me, natural snowmen are made from snow. It's natural, right? Hello. Wow. And neutrals, the side quest. We got it. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my goodness. All in one video. I don't know how that works. Usually I would never even thought of that, but I think it's because it's the first and I announced all of those prompts. Now, I'm assuming you've noticed there is no Scrappy 8 prompt this month because this month we will eventually find out by Louisa or Barbara about this year's Defemorember. So you got to keep your eye on my channel or keep your eye on their channel because as soon as stuff is announced, I will show up here and reiterate that and those announcements and all the information to you. So be ready. That is why we don't have a Scrappy 8 challenge this month. Sorry, another drink. Now, I think that this needs a little bit of something at the top. And maybe I have an idea. Let's grab this yummy, glittery stuff. You know, I have this saying, glitter, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Does anybody here have an aversion to glitter? I will tell you, one of my cousins has a horrible, horrible aversion to glitter. Cannot stand it at all. Yeah. I mean, it is the gift that keeps giving and giving and giving because every time you clean it up, more shows up. It just flies in the air. And I don't mind that. I adore it. I guess maybe I have glitter oozing out of my pores year round. Let me know now in the comments. Would you say I have a little too much glitter oozing out of my life on a daily basis? Or would you say, no, Dawn, you're fine. You're good to go. I love glitter. But if you have, let me know. Yes. Are you team glitter or team no glitter? Yep. So I know that, we have only done a few simple things today, but it comes together fairly quickly. Really, obviously we need a tag for in there. And this one's going to be a little too small for down in here. But watch this. If we take one of these coffee filters, and I'm almost done. I just had this idea. Take a coffee filter. There's a little coffee grounds on it. I'm going to wipe that off. Okay. Let's open that just so we can see what's going on. Let's take our shorter pocket. And in case you're wondering, this pocket is 4 inches tall. And this pocket is almost 3 inches wide. And I'm going to go ahead and, do we want, yeah, we do. We want the coffee side out. I'm going to go ahead and fold this in. And I'm going to fold this in like that. And I'm going to get, I want it a little thinner. I'm gonna trim this. Nobody's gonna see. May as well keep that just in case we want to use it for something, more just the bits, because yeah, we always need more bits. Okay, that's better. And what I want to do really quick, I actually want to fold that in. And then I want to fold this in. There we go. We have glue oozing out. That's okay. Not a big deal. And then I'm going to, wait, first, Dawn, we need to make sure it's going to fit. Okay. I didn't want to snip off the sides. Let's not. Let's just put a little glue right here. Glue that down. And then let's put a little glue right here and glue that down. And then look. Isn't that cute? And we could take this and just start folding it kind of like an accordion. What do you think? Hold on. Yeah. I'm trying. I am not good at folding papers like this, but I need my tiny stapler. Okay. Give it a tiny staple, and then we can give it a little glue. What's happening? Oh, that's too much glue. Whatever. A little glue right there. And then take this one and do the same thing. I'm just kind of accordion folding. And then, there we go. There we go. There. Just some coffee filter decoration. And maybe we need a little word phrase there. I would love to have something like let it snow, but I don't have anything like that right now. So how about look on the bright side? And this is black and white, so I would call it a neutral. Oh, goodness. Oh, hey, guys, can I ask you a favor? Can you go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you have not already? That will help me more than you know, and it's free. Free, free, free. Okay, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. If you have something specific you'd like to see me do, feel free to let me know. I will gladly try. But for now, we have a cute little pocket for inside of our journal. We need another tag, but there we are. Yes, God bless you guys. Bye.